In seemingly every piece of literature or story throughout time, there has always customarily been a figure or character serving as a protagonist or hero. The environment, culture, and status of heroes vary from story to story. However, it is apparent to me that from the beginning of literature, even before the times of true literacy, all the way up to modern day works, there is consistently a hero on the hero's quest, which is elucidated to us in Thomas Foster's How to Read Literature Like a Professor, seeking his goals. In Beowulf, a story composed before the arrival of Christ, we see a true warrior mirroring every physical and mental trait a hero of that day would be thought to have. Beowulf is truly fearless and selfless to his death, and through his many quests he illuminates the qualities of the Neolithic hero. Some might argue that characters like Beowulf still serve as heroes in many modern works of literature. However, it is evident to me through works like Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises that over time the physical demands of heroism in literature are seriously slacking, and we see that the hero evolves from being the mightiest warrior exuding the most bravery to being the man who can carry the most burdens and endure through life and its trials. The epic story of Beowulf is set in the audacious time of the Vikings. Beowulf, perceived as being the mightiest warrior on earth, hears of a demon habitually attacking the kingdom of Hrothgar. Once he hears of these events occurring in the land of the Danes, he immediately gathers his best men to set out and show comitatus, or loyalty to Hrothgar and his people, by ridding them of their tormentor. Through this, Beowulf has already exemplified one essential heroic quality of that time: selfless bravery. In addition to Beowulf's bravery, we also see his physical stature depicted early in the story. Promptly after their arrival in the land of the Danes, we immediately see that Beowulf is immediately described as physically being a great, intimidating figure. When one Danish watcher states, "Nor have I ever, out of all the men on earth, one greater than has come with you. No commoner carries such weapons," the reader receives insight that Beowulf and his company are towering figures. This physical presence is another key trait of the Neolithic hero. As the story goes on, we see Beowulf annihilate every obstacle in his path, consistently acting with bravery until his dying moment. We see that Beowulf acts as a true warrior, defeating seemingly every monster except, of course, the monster which eludes all attacks by the blade or by flesh, death. Although similar qualities of heroes are often seen today through popular works of comics, we see the true modern literature hero depicted in Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises. Undoubtedly, characters of great physical stature are highly valued and appreciated in works of literature no matter the time and composition. Today, we see that the true modern hero is one who is not necessarily a man of action, but a man of endurance. Jake Barnes, a man living in post-World War I period, a man part of that wounded, lost generation, epitomizes many of the qualities of the hero in that semi-modern time period. Through Jake's service in the military, we immediately learn of his selfless nature, a trait shared by heroes of all time periods. However, we see that Jake suffers an emasculating injury in combat, an injury that would immediately throw him out of the hero category had he been a character in a before Christ story. We later learn that due to this injury, Jake can no longer have sex or bear children. A serious blow to a man Jake's age with so much of his life ahead of him. To most, this kind of obstacle would be insurmountable. However, we see Jake display his true heroic nature by pressing on despite his disabling injury. Jake continues to function like everyone else in society by often praying, laboring, suffering, and even loving with passionate, faithful emotion despite his injuries. It is through this ability to press through adversity that Jake proves heroism. Philip Young, an Ernest Hemingway critic and writer of the Hemingway Code, stated, "The Code hero is a man who, though wounded by events, manages to live an honorable life, in which his actions speak louder than his words." This statement is a direct reflection of the character Jake Barnes, and through Barnes we see the model modern hero. In conclusion, the hero of literature's past and present share many qualities. We see that each of these heroes exemplify selfless qualities and embark on a quest in which there is a place to go, stated reason to go there, challenges and trials en route, and real reason to go there. However, inevitably, all things change over time, including some of the basic requirements to fit as a hero in literature. And we see over time the physical demands of a hero in stories diminish as mental demands of a hero increase.
Created using Powtoon.